Long before written records, stories walked the land, carving.
G. The one who walks tall in the mist, who leaves no footprints but many stories.
This isn't myth, memory. The hairy man walked here. His story was cut, not drawn into stone, so it'd last.
Hey explorers, welcome back to Thai Bigfoot Trail, where we uncover mysteries hiding in plain sight. Picture this. You're standing in the scorching California desert, face to face with a 1,000-year-old rock carving. It shows a massive, hairy humanoid towering over smaller human figures, wild and untamed. This isn't modern graffiti. It's a pre-Columbian petroglyph created by the Yokuts people, etched into a site known as Painted Rock. Today we're diving deep into ancient rock art that may hold clues to something eerily familiar, Bigfoot-like beings. Could these carvings be the earliest roots of Sasquatch legends? Stick around as we explore, decode, and connect these ancient stories to indigenous history. If you're ready, hit that like button, and let's trek into the past. First things first, what exactly are petroglyphs? Unlike paintings, these are carvings. Ancient people used stone tools to chip away at the dark outer layer of rock, what's known as desert varnish, revealing the lighter stone beneath. The term Pre-Columbian refers to the time before 1492, before Columbus arrived in the Americas. So we're talking about indigenous cultures spanning thousands of years, some dating back as far as 13,000 years ago. Why carve into stone? Because it lasts. This was storytelling without paper or ink, messages designed to endure. Across the Americas, tribes like the Yokuts in California's San Joaquin Valley, the Chumash along the coast, and the Salish peoples farther north created these images. They depict hunts, rituals, spiritual symbols, and sometimes something far more mysterious. Many of these carvings are estimated to be between 500 and 1,500 years old, preserved by dry desert climates. Now let's focus on one of the most intriguing sites, Painted Rock. Located near the Tule River Reservation in California, this isn't just an archaeological site, it's sacred ground. Access is restricted out of respect for its cultural and spiritual importance. At the center of it all is the hairy man glyph. Imagine a figure roughly 7 feet tall, its body covered in what appears to be shaggy fur. Its arms are raised, almost dominating the scene, while smaller human figures stand, or flee, below it. Nearby carvings suggest interaction, humans offering something, or possibly trying to escape. Dating methods place this figure at around 1,000 years old. But this isn't just a one-off image. It appears in Yokuts oral traditions as well. According to Yokuts elders, this being is known as the hairy man, sometimes called Yokuts, a powerful, wild figure that lives between worlds, part human, part something else. Some stories describe him as a protector. Others say he could be dangerous, kidnapping women or teaching sacred knowledge like medicine. And Painted Rock isn't the only place where these figures appear. Across North America, similar carvings show up again and again. In Baja California, carvings attributed to the Cuchipi people, dating back roughly 3,000 years, depict small, hairy beings with elongated arms chasing hunters. At Newspaper Rock in Utah, associated with the Fremont culture, a massive fur-covered figure looms over smaller human shapes, surrounded by spirals that some interpret as symbols of portals or spiritual realms. In New Mexico, Jornada Mogollon sites feature figures sometimes called star people, beings with both human and animal-like traits. And in the Columbia River Basin, Salish traditions speak of stone giants, or hairy ones, beings deeply rooted in local lore. What's striking is the consistency. Different tribes, different regions, yet similar descriptions. Large, bipedal, hair-covered beings living in remote wilderness. So how did these carvings preserve such stories? For many indigenous cultures, rock art wasn't just decoration, it was communication. These images were often created during ceremonies or by spiritual leaders, encoding meaning through symbols. Lines suggesting fur may represent wildness or a connection to animal spirits. Raised arms can signal power or warning. Smaller human figures below often suggest hierarchy or reverence. Archaeologists study layering techniques, where newer carvings overlap older ones, to estimate age. At Painted Rock, the hairy man appears over earlier abstract designs, reinforcing its relatively recent creation within that timeline. This wasn't random. It was intentional storytelling. Whether these images represent real encounters, spiritual visions, or something in between, they carried meaning strong enough to survive for centuries. Interestingly, modern Bigfoot sightings didn't surge until the 20th century, yet these stories and images existed long before. Even the famous Patterson-Gimlin film from the 1960s shows a figure remarkably similar to these ancient depictions. It's important to be clear, these petroglyphs aren't proof of Bigfoot.
But these ancient carvings do far more than spark curiosity. They show that indigenous peoples across the Americas were documenting something profound, something significant enough to carve, paint, and pass down through countless generations on stone walls and rock shelters. From the Pacific Northwest to the deserts of the Southwest and deep into the forests, stories of the hairy man, or beings very much like him, appear again and again. For many tribes, he isn't a monster lurking in the shadows. He's a teacher, a guardian, a powerful force of nature, or even a participant in the very creation of humanity. Take the remarkable site known as Painted Rock, CA-TUL-19, on the Tule River Indian Reservation in California. Here, the Yokuts, specifically the foothill Yokuts, created stunning pictographs roughly 1,000 years ago. The most dominant figure is the towering hairy man, also called Mayakdatat or Sunsunut, a massive bipedal being over 8 feet tall in the artwork, with long hair, outstretched arms, and large, haunting eyes from which tears stream, according to tribal tradition. He's depicted in red, black, and white pigments, and remarkably, the site also shows what many interpret as an entire hairy man family, a male, a female, and a smaller child figure standing right beneath the mother's hand. According to Yokuts' oral histories, these images tie into a creation story. All the animals of the mountains gathered at Ochu, the sacred place, to shape the first people. Eagle, coyote, lizard, owl, and others each contributed traits: wisdom, strength, skill with hands. And among them was Hairy Man, playing his own role in bringing humans into being. Other stories explain why he retreated to the mountains, why he sometimes steals food, and why his presence is still felt on the reservation today. The Yokuts' descendants continue to protect and steward this sacred site with deep reverence. It's not open to the general public. Access is limited to tribal members or guided visits to honor its spiritual importance and prevent further damage from weathering and past vandalism. Today, modern technology is helping safeguard and uncover even more. Techniques like LiDAR scanning and high-resolution 3D documentation are revealing faded or previously hidden details in rock art sites across North America, peeling back layers of time without disturbing the original works. What else might still be waiting to be discovered? If you ever have the opportunity to explore sites like Painted Rock or other ancient rock art locations, please do so with the utmost respect. Go with knowledgeable guides from the connected indigenous communities whenever possible. Listen to the stories, support preservation efforts, and remember that these places are living history, not just static relics of the past. From the hairy man of Painted Rock to a vast network of similar carvings, petroglyphs, and oral traditions spanning the continent, From the wild men of the woods among Salish peoples to other hairy man or big elder brother figures in Plains and California tribes, these stories continue to echo through time. So, what do you think? Are these ancient memories of real encounters with something extraordinary, or powerful myths shaped by deep cultural knowledge of the environment, the wilderness, and the unknown? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Share your favorite petroglyph or pictograph site that you visited or read about. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into hidden histories and unexplained mysteries, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Next up, the enigmatic underwater ruins off the coast of Cuba. Massive stone structures spotted by sonar thousands of feet below the waves, sparking debates about lost civilizations, ancient catastrophes, or natural formations. Could they rewrite what we know about pre-Columbian history in the Caribbean? Thanks for watching, and as always, stay curious.